Who of you is ready right now to come up on this stage and do a talk about a topic that will be randomly chosen? I will explain you why and how training improvisation can help you in any situation. But before that, I want to show you an example. So I will ask you 3 things, and then I will improvise a talk. So first, I need an occupation. Random occupation there?
Game development.
Game development, yeah, cool. That never came up, yeah. Further at the back, in the middle part, I would like a topic. Social or political that you're passionate about. Youth mental health, that's also new, that's challenging, I love it. And at the back, I want to hear you, I would like to have an emotion. Ecstasy. There's one rule I try to follow is like always take the first suggestion, whatever it feels like, because that's a challenge. So now let's imagine that I'm a game developer talking about youth mental health. And I've been asked at the very last minute to do this talk, and that makes me feel ecstatic. That's right? Welcome. Thank you. I know that's a great thrill for all game developers of Australia to gather this year at the annual game convention. And this year, we've tackled problems. We've been accused to make young people sick and addicted to video games. But because of our work, because of your work, because of all of you, we proved them wrong. We proved them that video game can actually tackle youth mental health issue. We proved that it makes them connect in virtual reality. They can play together in 360 degrees, which is also really good for young people that experience problem with their own physicality, which they can experience in virtual reality games. They also have solved youth violence and acceptance through our games, and also a lot of problem-solving games developed among our community. So I'm really excited to talk and to have all of you this year for this annual convention and to hear about all the projects that we've been presenting this year. This is going to be an awesome convention. I trust you. So this is just an example of what improvisation can look like. Now, what if I just choose one of you to come do the same? I see faces saying, not me, please. What are you afraid of? Why are you not ready? Improvisation taught me many lessons that can apply to so many aspects in life. Today, I want to share 3 of them with you. Many people think that improvisation is the ability to talk on and on and on and on and on. It's not. And I'll explain to you how I learned it. I didn't choose to start improvisation. 12 years ago, I was a student, like many of you today, living in a campus far out of town. But we like to go out in town and enjoy until late. And we were always missing the last tram back. So we had to walk all the way back, 3 a.m. in the morning, tired, northern France, winter wind blowing, uphill for 1 hour. So from 3 to 4 a.m., to picture the situation. So the crest of the hill never seemed to get any closer. So we had to keep our minds busy. So create stories. We all had characters, we were using accents, and we went on thousands of quests. In the end, I enjoyed the walk back much more than the night in town. We missed so many triumphs. In the end, we felt like we were kind of experts in creating these stories. So when one day I saw this poster in my university saying, improvisational theater for students, I said, we're in, we're joining. So I took my friends, we went there, and we started. The teacher was giving up the warm-up exercises. It was just as much fun as walking back home, except that we were not walking, and it was not 3 a.m. in the morning, and there was no wind. Seemed perfect. And then the teacher asked 2 of us to do a scene, and I will always remember that scene. So the teacher said, it's going to be the Middle Ages. You're going to be a farmer, and you're going to be the knight. Well, it had to be the knight. So we started the scene. My friend started to do his farmer stuff, and I came in as a proud knight, and we started chatting. Growing vegetables, taxes, politics, weather, and we were talking on and diverting in our discussion and challenging. No, said the teacher. What's wrong? What have we done wrong to be stopped in the middle of our story? You're not in the middle of the scene. You're going nowhere. She was right. We were not in the middle of a scene. We were just talking, and maybe if she hadn't stopped us, maybe today we would still be in that room. Our vision of improvisation was, keep talking until you reach home and can sleep. Our word fell apart. We may be having fun, maybe not the audience. The first tone of a whole new word was set. It's not because you can talk a lot that you're a good improviser. Nowadays, everyone can film. Have you ever seen a friend coming back from a holiday wanting to show you all the videos he filmed? You know, the 5 hours of GoPro footage? Yeah, that sounds cool. What's the difference between this and a movie? Choice, time, and structure. Choice. You have to choose what's in and what's out. In the movie, out of the movie. In the story, out of the story. You have to find what's important, what's relevant for the audience. Time and pace, so that you can keep the engagement throughout. And you need a beginning and an end, a plot and a structure that will lead the audience into a journey. Improvisation teaches you to do that on the spot. Now, I want to share with you something that magicians sometimes do. It's a trick. How did I do the improvised talk at the very beginning? Choice. I had chosen the context. I had already decided this will be an annual gathering of people of the occupation you would give me. Time, 1 to 3 minutes, was already decided to. And structure. Introduction, 1, 2, 3 key points and a conclusion. And of course, I knew I would ask you for a topic and an emotion. All this was pre-decided, and it helped me to know where I was going. Lesson number 1. Improvisation taught me not how to keep on talking forever, but how to say only what's important and relevant to make it interesting for the people listening. It took a while for this idea to sink in. And when it eventually did, that's when I started to freak out. If every word matters, what to say next? Have you ever seen someone on a stage, in front of a classroom, in a meeting room, that start blanking, shrinking, looking for the nearest exits, counting the seconds until their time is over? Who has ever been that person? Show your hands. I've been that person. Sometimes improvising, I felt I had good ideas, and sometimes I felt I didn't have any. And whatever is going on here, you see it as an audience, you feel it. If I'm happy, you're happy, and if I'm panicking, you're panicking. You know what happens when you freeze, when you blank? I realized that you start thinking. You're analyzing. You see yourself there like, oh my God. And then you see the people in front of you, and like, oh my God. And then you see the whole situation, and you're like, oh my God. You're out of your body. Earlier, it was mentioned as some kind of unmindfulness, tuning out. I had this problem a lot until one day I attended a workshop. I find it funny how sometimes you have a problem that lasts forever, and then just someone tells you how to solve it instantly. This workshop was taught by a brilliant Swiss improviser called Odile Cantero. The workshop was called Your Next Idea is in Your Partner's Eyes. It really seemed to me to give me an answer to, where's my next idea? Instead of thinking, having to look into my partner's eyes, I was forced back into my senses. And I started seeing, hearing, feeling. Instead of thinking and being blind to all that. Thinking, I could not see the emotion I was in, what I already have, what the outer world triggered in me. How can I expect to see what's in here when I'm out here thinking? I learned to go back to my intuitions. Some earlier called that maybe mindfulness. I find it funny how all these event is talking about mind matters, and all come back to get back into your body and forget your mind. Which is a mindset. Again, I want to see how these applied to the talk I did earlier. So I asked you 3 things: an occupation, a topic, and an emotion. So I looked in me. Why do I know about game development? What do I know about youth mental health issues? And I just looked at these 2 collide inside me and see what would come up. And I knew that if I let my emotion lead the talk, I would be safe. Lesson number 2. Improvisation taught me that whenever you feel lost or panic, get back to your intuitions, and you will find the answers you're looking for. And I know I could trust you. One of the core principles of improv is make your partner look good so that everyone feels safe and supported. The way it is taught is by always saying yes and instead of no. Let's imagine a scene with a couple. Do you want to go to the cinema? No. Do you want to go to the restaurant? No. Maybe you want to stay home then? No. We're stuck. The discussion, the relationship, the story, the project is stuck. We can't move. With yes and, on the other hand, you want to go to the movies? Yes. We could grab some popcorn. Yes. And after we could go to a restaurant. Yes. And then we could have some dessert. Yes. And then when we get home, you see where it goes. We move forward. But not only all these can move forward, but by accepting And valuing the other person's offer, we make each other feel supported and accepted. For last time, I want to tell you how this applied to the improvised talk I did earlier. I asked you 3 things. And I knew you would not let me here hanging without giving me an answer. I can tell you this was really stressful to come here tonight without knowing the suggestion you would give me and improvise a talk. But I knew if I struggle, you would support me. Your silence and your attention were your yes. And lesson number 3. Improvisation taught me that if you build on other people's proposals instead of blocking, we can go further and faster while making everyone look good and feel supported. Now, let me ask you a question. Who in the room has never, ever done any kind of improvisation? You have all done improvisation? I see some hands. So for those of you who raised their hands, I would like you to send me a picture. On this picture, I want you to see you standing in front of the bookshelf where you keep the script of your entire life. I haven't been given the script of my life. I would like to see what it looks like. Is it big? For the others, like me, the scriptless, we have to improvise a life. Every day, every minute, every second, we make decisions. We can't expect things to go a certain way, but life surprises us. Good news, improvisation warns you. 90% of the time, you still have time to prepare. I came here today knowing that I would be improvising a talk. When I perform, I know before the show that I will be improvising a show. But even if you have to replace at the very last minute a colleague or a friend to lead a meeting or give a talk, like I did at the very beginning, you still have these 10 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe 30 seconds to prepare yourself. You can start by looking what you already have in you, the knowledge, just look at that. Then organize it, structure it, use patterns. And finally, know that everyone around you is there to support you. Training improvisation in any kind of situation makes you ready for these surprises of life. Imagine all the opportunities that you have missed and you keep on missing because you keep saying, no, I'm not ready. I can't. I won't. And you miss on. Now I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine what it would feel like to feel that you're ready. And that now you have everything it takes to come up on this stage and do an improvised TED Talk. Thank you.